All right, what's up, guys? It's Justin Kahn back with another Fractal Radio, and today I've got the founders of Foxtopia with me. We've got Space Fox, Choco Lord, and Maz. Those are amazing names. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you guys doing?
Thank you,
Really
Justin,
good.
for your time. Yep,
Amazing. So tell me about Foxtopia. What kind of game is it?
yep, sure. Foxtopia, as most of you would know, right? Foxtopia is an action-packed RPG game, right, where players are able to, explore different dungeons, forests, city, and many more different maps, right? While hacking and slashing away at monsters and bosses to collect rare items. Um, Our game, right, we do have a leveling system where players are able to learn a new skill while leveling up. We will also have a PvP Colosseum where players battle against one another for supremacy, and co-op party modes where players can team up and make new friends to fight powerful bosses as a team. And also, lastly, players are able to join different guilds or create their own guilds, right, to gain recognition of being the top guild of the leaderboard in our metaverse. As this is an open world game, right, the players will be able to roam freely and discover cities and dungeons and complete, side quests. And so on top of the main adventure mode, right, that we have been building, we are planning to host a range of separate PvE or PvP time events that offer a break from the actual storyline. Um, to compete for additional prizes and rewards. So these prizes itself, right, consists of can be in the form of NFTs or from participating partners and real world vouchers from participating merchants whom we are thinking of exploring for further down the map. And part of this will also be an arena, which will be opened up exclusively for Haku holders to battle and train in so that they can support their main character in game. There will also be an inventory system where players are able to store their items that are collected along the way to upgrade their equipment, skills, and abilities. And what we are doing in our game, right, is that we are not making players to just stick with one class throughout the game. Say, and swordsman, for an example, right, they are able to switch to a different job class, such as a magician, without having to restart their level from scratch. Yep.
Gotcha.
So what we want players to be able to switch between classes, right? So that they can have a different experience altogether. They will be able to, select a skill and upgrade their skill and essentially craft the personality of their characters. Lastly, I feel that the cool thing, right, about all this is that we want players to immerse themselves in our game. Hence, we are also implementing a chat box system so that players are able to engage freely, which will be particularly useful while playing as a team. By being able to yell out alerts while discovering a rare items or missions, and also while planning stealth attacks on other players, we hope to make our game as multilingual as possible to cater to wider range of players across the world. Yep, that's probably what Foxtopia is about.
All
Yep,
right, so
thanks.
tell me, how did you guys decide to come together to build this project?
Yeah, so basically, how we came together is that, okay, as the founder of Foxtopia, right, let me share a little bit about my background. I have been in the financial industry working as a banker for around 10 years before going into the blockchain industry. I myself was heavily into NFT back in 2021, and growing up as a gamer, right, I had the vision and inspiration to create my own gaming NFT, but I knew I could not do it on my own, right? So I spoke to a friend, and I remember spending hours speaking about the possibility of making this happen. And so, therefore, we contacted a couple of our friends whom we knew are also interested in gaming and are also interested in the crypto space. And we share the same visions and goals in mind. And yeah, voila, that was how Foxtopia was formed. And yeah, even though the current market, I feel that is in a bad trend, we are still constantly building behind the scenes because we always had the same goal in mind to strive and push Foxtopia to be, one of the best blockchain game in Singapore because we came from Singapore, or should I say, in the entire planet. Yep.
Nice. So what's the state of the game? Did you release it already? You did your first NFT launches in January, right? So there's people out there who are
Yep.
holders, and then what's have you released the game yet?
Yeah.
Currently, we are still building the game itself. Currently, it's in the demo version. Which we are also conducting it as a tournament on Fractal. Yep.
I think Space Fox can share a bit more about
Yeah,
the
cool. Good. Yeah. Yeah, we're very excited because in January we managed to get the whole project sold out. So that gave us a fair bit of confidence, and through that period of time, we spoke a lot with the community. And what happened is, from then to now, we have actually built up our game. So we did our current demo. At this current junction, right? Our game will roll out with a lot of basic features. Yeah. So this is the first game for us. So it help us to let the community have a little bit of fun. Also allow us to know how far we can push the limit for our game. So this demo itself, this demo, what happened is players is able to try a few skill sets, kill some wolf. So in this quest, so that is where we are for this demo. So the gameplay will be about anywhere between 7 minutes for them to complete the first quest. And what's going to be happening next is next 6 months, we will be building our alpha version. So that will lead to our chapter 1. Yeah. And we subsequently believe with all the patches, right, improvement will be happening along the way because we believe and we work very closely with the game-driven team, and they are pretty certain, constant progress patches helps players to, to be a lot more intrigued on board with us. For us, concept is very big when it comes to the art. So as you can see from our art from the Fox NFT all the way to our current Haku launch, and also the character that we built has grown because of the interaction with our community. What we wanted and what they wanted, we kind of put them all together. So for our first release, right, our game will be with our current team, which is the Solana fantasy team. Because I think it's pretty cool. For once, we don't just build a team of our own. We have a team like a blockchain team. We find this a very unique opportunity for us to do that. And subsequently, we will evolve into the darkness of Foxtopia, which was our original idea. So it's from this blockchain team gradually shifting to our original idea of the darkness in Foxtopia.
Sorry, what's the darkness in
Yeah.
Foxtopia?
let
Yeah.
me tell you about that. Okay, so just bring it back a little. Our core team consists of 4 members. So this is Space Fox here, who is our creative lead. He directs and designs the whole direction of art, both for NFTs and in-game. And I'm Maz. I'm basically the mom of the team and our community. And I personally got into NFTs back in the Solana days. And I joined these guys mainly to write for the game, which I personally think is the best part of building our game. So when you were asking what our game is about, I felt that I need to share about the lore behind Foxtopia, because I feel that's a really big part of what we're building. So leave the tech stuff to the guys, right? Yeah, but game mechanics aside, I can tell you more about what I've pictured happening within Foxtopia, because I think that the lore essentially drives the building of Foxtopia, whether it be the characters, the different maps, the environment, or the types of monsters and bosses, etc. But of course, along the way, new ideas just keep popping up. But essentially, after going over just about hundreds of names with the core team, we finally decided on the name Foxtopia, because we thought this was fitting for the type of art and overall vibe we were going for in our game. So I'm not sure if you've seen our foxes, but it's the type of fun,
They look great.
fun, funky fantasy type look and vibe. That to be honest, I haven't seen much of around in RPGs so far. And so we have Foxtopia, this mysterious kingdom where 5 factions of foxes and companions lived peacefully together. and they were ruled by a couple of immortal nine-tailed foxes, which are our top-ranked NFTs, who are known for their ability to shapeshift. And then one day, one of these nine-tails decided to turn rogue, and they would sneak into any village or town and just constantly cause trouble between the factions and being the ultimate shit stirrer. So we have the 5 factions, each faction having their own characteristics and DNA. So we have big, scary Flarius, who I think is Chocolat's favorite because he just likes to pick anyone that just bashes people up with anything, like ginormous. So, and then we have Alexaus, who are brave, loyal, full of compassion, comparable to knights, everyone's best friend, the ones you can count on. We've also got Arani, who are the sneaky ones. So I'm picturing them throwing out stealth and range attacks, while lurking behind the shadows. And they can be thieves or assassins. And this group of foxes just can never be trusted, really. But my usual go-to would be Rinoa, who are surrounded by magic, all things supernatural, because I like magic. They can be healers or clerics, and just have the power to control the weather and blizzards, cause storms, rain, snow, which can help them with their attacks or defense. And then lastly, we have the Satulonia clan, which I think is Space Fox's favorite. And we've portrayed them as the cool, brainy, technologically savvy nerds of Foxtopia. So they're introverts and they mostly keep to themselves. But you know how they say the quiet ones are usually the deadliest, and I wouldn't be surprised with the type of mind reading powers they have. So we start off the game by villagers detecting a subtle change in their surroundings, and no one knows what's going on, and so the player is then sent on quests to investigate. And along the way, they run into different challenges and find different items as the story unfolds. And your ultimate goal is to save Foxtopia from these evil forces, which begins in their village, which you can see in our game demo. So, yeah, sorry, I just had to share about the story behind it all and how our characters were actually created. Yeah.
Gotcha. Love that. All right, so tell us about the tournament that we're going to launch together with Fractal.
Yep, sure. For the Fractal tournament, right, for a limited period of time, right, anyone in the public is able to get whitelisted by playing our demo and fulfilling certain requirements. The instruction is already set in the demo itself, so players are able to see what are the instructions there. They are also then also entitled to participate in our Grand Haku raffle launch, where a range of soul and NFTs will be given out as prizes. The tournament is currently ongoing, and it will end on September 23rd. You can check this out on the Fractal's website.
Awesome. So on the Foxtopia page on Fractal, you learn more and play in the tournament. That's awesome. And tell me about like what's planned for the future. What's the roadmap? What are you guys going to release? Sounds like 6 months from now there's going to be an alpha, right? Is there anything else you can share?
Yep. So I can talk about several things here, and basically what we feel makes Foxtopia special and what we have planned down the pipeline. The feature I am probably most excited about is a collection of fox dens that we have planned. So these dens are intended to give each user a chance for even more control in game. Like so many other projects out there, our ambition is to be able to integrate our characters and dens into the metaverse, right? So these dens will then be the player's base or home. And what we have in mind is to have fox dens in several different areas of the map. So it could be in the middle of the forest, in town, on a mountaintop, in caves. And these will all come with a set of basic deco and gear. And then through, monster drops, NFT drops, trading, or a marketplace, you can purchase additional items to then decorate your den and to show it off to others. When a player visits your den, whether it be to trade or just have a peep at your collection. And I don't know, maybe even eventually mutate their original fox den after they glow it up, so that becomes a whole other NFT. I know we have big dreams, but we all got to start somewhere before dreams can actually come true, right?
Awesome.
But the best part though, and what I feel is the future of our Web3 game is this. Yeah, so we know that there are heaps of traditional action RPGs out there, but one of the main reasons why we chose to also build one is because there is just so much room for ideas and ways to grow, ways to grow this with our community. So we don't want it just to be about constant grinding and leveling up. We want you to have fun the entire time while doing so. So it could be the lore. It could be just basically how or what you want to look for and see in a game while using our ideas and concepts as a base. So the way that's going to happen, what we want to do, and really our ultimate vision is to include our community as much as possible in the building of our game. So we want to enable them to actually play a part as content creators of Foxtopia. Now we have 5 chapters planned out so far, and most of the features Chocolate described will be available in the first 2 or 3 chapters. So what we plan to happen in the long run could be happening in chapters 4 and 5, and this would be actually giving our community an opportunity to write their own mini story. What they envision their quests or even their skins and characters to be like, and be actually part of creating Foxtopia, because we want our longest and biggest supporters to be rewarded in their journey with us. And so an example would be someone creates a quest. Any NFTs or items that are dropped every time that particular quest is completed, they earn a share of royalties. So if they create a skin for us, for example, that is purchased and used in the game, they get a share of the royalties every time it is purchased. And so this whole idea is for our content creators within our community to just always have a share of whatever they create. It's about us, giving autonomy and power back to them. And as we feel that as a result of this, they will then be motivated to promote this to their friends, to the other communities they're in, to show what they've created in an actual game they are part of building, and flaunt, their creations, which will then, continue to drive and retain our users and continue to facilitate just our whole game economies. So we really see it as a win-win situation for both us and for our community. Yeah. So that's
cool.
what we hope to achieve. Yes.
All right. So we got the roadmap. Are you guys planning any more NFT launches in the near future? I don't know if we've talked about that with Fractal.
Well, so we've got our Fox dens, which we are planning to launch as NFTs.
Gotcha.
Nothing planned yet. Nothing
Cool.
set in line for just now.
Awesome. So if people want to participate, they can do that right now with the tournament right on Fractal. And where can people find out more about Foxtopia online?
So you can check us out at foxtopia.io or our Twitter. Our handle's Foxtopia NFT. And you can also find us directly from the Fractal website if you want to try out our game demo.
Amazing, which you can play right now. Anything else you guys want to cover that we didn't talk about?
Yeah, sure. Maybe adding on to what Mas was saying, right? we would probably would like to share more about what's the difference between a Web3 game and a Web2 game. So what we are all essentially trying to link here is to bridge the bridge between traditional games and Web3 games, right? As as many people would know, right, many gamers, right, easily spend thousands of dollars in Web2 games without actually owning the items that they are spending on. So the worst thing that can happen is when a hype up traditional games, right, loses its popularity, right? You have these like amazing accounts with all the items that you spend your money on, right? You simply cannot sell it to anyone because like nobody wants it, and everything that you have built up is then worth nothing. So we, like most Web3 builders, right, want to give the ownership back to the players by literally enabling them to do as they please with whatever in-game assets that they own, right? And they are able to sell it on the marketplace itself. This is also where Fractal's SDK wallet comes into play. We are so excited to integrate this into our game and marketplace, where players will be able to mint items in and out of game and also trade with ease. And we know that Fractal is coming out with all these amazing upcoming features, and we are hoping to tap into this as much as possible.
Thank
Yep.
you. Yeah. Well, our goal is just to support game developers and building the best games, and so it's a great partnership. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much too.
Thanks. Yeah. If you don't mind, can I just add a little bit more about talk a little bit more about the art itself? Because I think our community
Yeah.
is pretty big on our lore and our art. So I just want to say to them, just to give them a little sneak peek into the future of the game itself. So throughout the game, you're gonna have a couple of evil bosses popping up at certain points in the game, right? So you'll have this one evil night-tailed fox shape-shifting and appearing in the form of any of these bosses, who are then killed, but then they're not actually really dead, up until the very final chapter, where the nine-tailed fox finally will then reveal itself in its true form, and then is killed for good. Or is it? And along the way, people can get possessed by this dark aura, as you progress. So you'll start to see our entire environment start to change from our current magical, mystical, Solana-themed fairy tale-like environment to like a darker Diablo type of concept art. And characters and monsters will start having lots of black and red shades, just to give you more of a gory and darker type of vibe overall, instead of this fun and funky, lighthearted style we now have, which players get a taste of in our current demo. And a wee spoiler that I haven't really shared yet is that there are talks about including a sixth faction at some point further down the road, something completely different from these classic type characters. So they could potentially be like a mecha, a robot type character. But to be honest, in my own mind, I'm actually dreaming of having a faction of zombies and skeletons, something like The Walking Dead, which are actually some of my own favorite skins that NFTs also have. So there's nothing concrete yet, obviously, but we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Love it. Like Walking Dead is one of my favorite.
Yeah, that'll be so cool, right?
Yeah.
And an RPG clashing with our current characters, but who knows?
Cool. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for sharing. We look forward to trying out the tournament and the demo. And seems like you guys have a lot planned. It's pretty exciting.
But we know, we know this space can just change drastically in the blink of an eye. So we're just gonna listen to what our community wants and integrate that into our game as much as possible. But essentially, we will go with the flow and just have one simple and main goal in mind, to create and build a super fun, community-centered game with great art. Is our ultimate one goal. Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
Well, if you achieve that, you'll be successful. So incredible.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me.
Sure. Thanks a lot for your time, Justin.
Yeah, so
Yep.
this may be out of the books, but Justin, we actually have a little something for you. Just
Really
wanna,
amazing.
you wanna share that, Space
Yeah.
Fox?
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Please share with Justin.
Yeah. Cool. Good. I'm not too sure if you could see my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Can
Oh,
you?
dude, that's awesome.
There we go.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want? So I didn't. I mean, I thought that the hair should be way more frizzy.
That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love
So
that.
No, our artist was very excited because every time we do a collaboration, for example, we did with Solana founders, he was very excited. He did one for him, and then when we told him that we're gonna have an interview with you, he was like quite blown away because he knew you during your when you share about how you sell Twitch. Yeah, he has been a follower, so so he took this
Oh,
opportunity
amazing.
to go like, hey, we're gonna do something like that, man.
Dude, I love the one with the black hat. I love that one. It
This
looks
one?
great. Yeah.
Awesome.
what do
Yeah,
you
send
reckon?
it to me.
Will this hair do, or do you want it to be more frizzy?
No, this looks good. This looks good. I think it's great. Thank you.
Okay.
It's so cool. I'll make it my
Great.
avatar.
Good stuff.
Yay.
All right, cool.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for the gift. I'm excited to debut it on my Twitter, and really appreciate you guys taking the time to tell us everybody about Foxtopia.